Yo, brother.
Oh,
We are there.
good morning.
How are you?
Good, great. How are you doing, Joel?
I am doing well. You know, according to my countdown timer, we're about 10 seconds ahead of Facebook.
Yes, because when you were counting down the coming live and whatever it wasn't synced up. So, it's what's his name? Our buddy's got a lot to do over there at Facebook and keeping track of the time.
What's his name? Marco Polo.
That's not his name. Hey, Joey's on. Boy, I tell you.
I don't know.
Anywho, what's going on today, Joe? We got a good show. I hope my brother, the producer, the executive producer, the writer, the coordinator, has come up with a good show. I've come up with nothing.
Keith, has there ever been a time where we haven't had a good show?
You're right, Joe. You were right. I don't think Tara's on. Good morning. Well, I got my cup of coffee, Joe. Let's get this thing going. What do you say?
Yeah, I got coffee going on right now. Just
get a cup of coffee.
30 seconds go.
Sit back, relax. We got a great show for you, and we will be right back.
And here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Funderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, smack it.
We're on, brother?
Yes, we're on. Hey, Joel, I got a beef.
Oh, here we go.
We didn't get the picture yet, did we?
We didn't get the picture yet.
Picture of beef? All right, I'm going to have to get a picture, send it to you, all that kind of stuff. You're going to have to produce it, put it in the file anyway.
Keep giving me one assignment.
I'm talking to a couple of my friends this morning, right? Uh-oh.
Okay.
What happened to it? My friend Jeff, right?
Okay.
The world's richest person, Jeff Bezos, is wealthier than ever. Than he's ever been. Earlier Wednesday, he crossed a milestone previously unseen in the nearly 4 decades Forbes has been tracking net worths. With Amazon stock edging up 2% as of Wednesday afternoon, Bezos' net worth is up to $4.9 billion.
Wow.
Making the 56-year-old the first ever person to amass $200 billion fortune. Now, the thing that I brought up, and of course I can't get back to, while they're denying hazard pay, sick time, protective gear for the for thousands and thousands of warehouse workers.
Right. So this is Amazon, right?
Yes, it's Amazon. Yeah. So when you order your toiletries or whatever from Amazon and it gets to you in 39 minutes, you can thank my buddy Jeff because he's working hard. It takes a lot of time to count those count all those bills, big stacks of. You know what $1 billion is, Joel?
No, I don't.
$1 billion is 1,000 million.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Keith.
So if you had like 200 of those, I just can't comprehend.
I was thinking if I just had the 0.9.
Yes, or the point. In that whole equation, the point has got to be worth something.
It's got to be.
So anyway, right, I've got this ongoing, remember, Joe, back when we were kids, Mom started making bread because she didn't like the way they figured out how they can inject air into bread.
Right.
This big, make it a big Stroman.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of mushes down to nothing. Well, I had to get some toiletries yesterday. And can we get a close up here, Joel? Look at this. I can't even show you what I'm trying to do. Look at that.
Is that a sponge or what?
I don't know what it is, Joel. 4 of these for $2. If you sneeze, you got to get a new roll. What is wrong with the world, huh? I mean, nobody said. Oh my goodness! It's a whole roll of toilet paper. It's lighter than air. There's nothing in it.
Well, there's no better way to regulate yourself than that. Man, that'll train you.
Yeah. I just got to call up work and say, hey, what's going on? Can you do me a favor and go back in the stock department to see if there's enough TP there? Because I might be there. I'm not working until Monday. I've got off for 3 days, but I'm bringing it in.
Keith, what do you do when customers come in and ask to use the restroom?
At my shop here, I point them in the direction of the restroom up at the laundromat, and I say that's where I wash up, and they got a really nice one up there.
Oh, love it.
What's going on, Joel? That's my beef.
Is that your beef? Let me put you back where you're supposed to be, dude.
Beef.
So let me tell the audience today that this StreamYard program that we use here just came out with a new feature, and I can switch around where Keith and I hang out, so we can switch like that. Now the good part about that is that I can do this like I was just doing and highlight Keith without making me disappear. Okay, so that's a new feature on StreamYard. The problem is that I have to switch us in order for us to do that. So.
I've been a grumpy old man since I was 7, Brad. Yeah, that's really cool, Joe. I like that effect.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, the only and maybe I can request this. The young gentleman who runs this StreamYard platform, there's two guys. Actually, there's probably a few of them, but they're very young, and they're doing a really nice job of putting this platform together. And they have live forums just like we do. Every Sunday night or something, so I can write in and say, I really like this, but could you work on, tweaking this or something like that? And they really listen to their customers, and that's how a lot of this stuff has come up. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure you've got some clout because I'm sure they're thankful that we brought the Smack and Jack brand to StreamYard. StreamYard. We've got upwards of tens. We've got tens of people watching at any given time. So,
are we in the tens yet? I think we're still in the ones.
I said upwards of tens.
There you go. Okay, Keith, we had a big hurricane down south.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I wonder if my friend Cindy is on from Texas. She marked herself safe. We have a few friends down in Texas that have gotten themselves down there over the years. So I think everybody marked themselves safe down there. Water. Can you imagine, Keith, water coming in like 30 miles? Think about that at Kentmore. If that water came up 30 miles.
Well, there wouldn't be an Eastern Shore. That would be.
Yeah.
Well, that would be completely into Delaware. Yeah, there wouldn't be 30 miles. I think there isn't 30 miles between the bay and the Delaware Bay, I don't think.
Now, I realize the elevation is probably a bit different. And probably down there where all that flooding happened is really just a floodplain to begin with. Yeah. It is below sea level, a lot of that. So that's, it's
Louisiana is, and they got hit pretty bad. Yeah. Goodness. Yeah. 30 miles.
Yeah, so we'll continue monitoring that, and hopefully people can kind of get their lives back together. Keith, yesterday evening, we had quite a storm roll through here in media.
What time was that? What time was that, Joel?
It was around 4 o'clock. I had just dropped Sophia off at Pencrest for band camp.
Okay.
And there was a plan set up in case we had to go pick them up, and they had to go inside and all that stuff. But no sooner I got home, it started dripping a little bit. We saw the gray clouds coming, but man, all of a sudden we got some wind around here that I was not expecting. So how about we look at some pictures, Keith?
Yeah.
We're going to see a picture of our yard. We're going to see a picture of our neighbors' yards right next door, Amelie's house, and then right across the street from them. Okay, so let's take a little tour of Bobbin Mill Road. Give me just a second here. Here we go. Screen share. All right. You see that, Keith?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, wow.
Okay. So this is a tree on my side yard. This is not even one of the ash trees. This is a maple tree. Wow. So a big branch came off of that.
It's one of the healthy trees, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the healthy trees. You're right. So now I know what I'm doing today, but it's going to rain all day. Okay. So we actually made out pretty well. This is I don't know if you remember the Tudor house that's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
across the street, just up one house from us.
Yep.
That's their driveway. This is a huge evergreen tree
Oh my God.
that got blown down, and right next to that house. Remember where the Hausers used to live down in that
Hausers. Yeah. Yep.
way down? Okay, so
Yep.
this is in their yard.
Holy cow.
Right next door. So there must have been some sort of
Straight line went. Yeah.
exactly right through that kind of area, because right across the street from this house is Sophia's friend's house, and it took down one of their dogwood trees.
Oh,
So all this happened kind of like right in that same area, and there was a gust of wind. I had just gone to the basement to make sure I had my to make sure I had my extension cord ready for the generator.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
because I thought for sure the power was going to go out. So I went downstairs, and Stephanie said, "Oh my gosh, it's the wind." She's like, "Where can we go?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" So I came back upstairs, and I see that we have branches down. I was just in the basement for 30 seconds, and all this happened.
Wow.
But you didn't get much out your way. Did anybody in our viewing area get?
Well, that's about the time that we got it in Malvern. But it was, a high wind. It wasn't anything that bad, but it was a tremendous amount of rain in a little bit. And it just, it got so dark quickly, and it almost looked like the cloud, the whole cloud was sitting on the parking lot.
Yeah.
But holy cow, Joel.
It did come pretty quickly. And I will say, before all that happened, I looked out and it started to get a little bit lighter. I was like, okay, so it's kind of passed over. It's not a big deal. And then, probably within 2 or 3 minutes from that thought of mine, all of a sudden, bam. So, So,
now, do we know if that's part of the hurricane from down south or what?
I'm not really sure. I think all that's supposed to come through today with all the clouds we have now.
Okay.
Although I guess it could be. But yeah, so let's see. Hey, Joe, good to see you on. Tara, you're up. Good to see you, Tara.
Hey, Tara. Jim, good to see Jim again. Joy.
Yeah, good morning, Jim. And Joy? Yeah. So a little cleaning up for me out there. Fortunately, no big trees came down and all that. Brad, you had some rain even. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get more down there, Brad. But we certainly got it up here. So
yeah, that's man. We've had our share of crazy weather this summer. As if the pandemic wasn't enough, we had to throw a little bit of weather mix in there.
Yeah, and again, the fact that we did not lose electricity last night.
Yeah, that's on your street. That's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. Although I know somebody across in the other development way over on Farnham Road, way on the other side, I heard the generators going. So somebody lost electricity. Okay, Keith.
Now, Joel, let me just say something. Getting back to this, I think it was down in Louisiana somewhere. They were talking about a couple people dying, the hurricane dying. And a family died from carbon monoxide poisoning from a generator. So, Joel, please tell me, and I'm not trying to make light of this, but tell me that when you use your generator, your gas-powered generator, you don't put it in the kitchen and then run all your power off of that, right? I'm hoping you don't do that.
While that would be really convenient, it would actually be a little loud.
Well, I can understand if you don't want to get you got a nice piece of equipment, you don't want to get weather on it, rain, bugs, whatever, debris, but.
Yeah, that is a shame. And Keith, you hear that so often. The generators do. I mean, obviously it says in there, do not run inside. That's clearly labeled.
Right.
But it also says you're not allowed. You shouldn't have them in the rain. Like they shouldn't be sitting out in the weather. In the rain. Okay. So I think that is an issue for some people. Like the one time, what was it, last year, our electricity was out. I can't remember what it was, but it was back in the spring. And I actually set it on our screen porch. Right as close to the edge as possible, just so it wasn't getting rained on.
Right, yes, yeah.
Of course, I had 2 doors closed between us, and the wall.
Right.
It was outside, but it had a covering. And I think some people just don't. I mean, maybe if they put it in a garage. Did it say where they had the generator, Keith? in that particular?
No. They just said a family died of carbon monoxide poisoning, and I imagine it was in their house. I mean,
yeah, they probably went to bed with the thing on. That's just terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah. So don't do that, folks. Don't do that. All right, Keith. Let's cheer things up a little bit.
Yes, let's do that.
We're going to do today regarding our Pocono house.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Let's hear about that, Joel. Let's.
Okay. So
I don't know if you really even mentioned. I mentioned at the very end of the show last week that you and Stephanie are getting a house up in the Poconos.
yes, we are, and we're very excited. I have a couple pictures to show to you, but I thought for today, Keith, we'd go over a little bit more of the mortgage situation that we ran into. Good.
No, just not to brag, I mean, not like I'm keeping up with the Joneses or anything, but something similar. I changed the sheets on my my back couch in the truck. My vacation home. Go ahead, Joel. That wasn't very good at all.
It was funny. I don't know if everybody over there got it though. All right. So Stephanie and I have been thinking about getting a Pocono house or a vacation home, and we had talked about the Poconos for years and years. So obviously we've been saving and kind of checking things out. So this year we kind of took the plunge. We're just about to settlement. Things are looking really good. So I can't say it's a done deal yet, but we're pretty much there. So I'll show you a picture of the house. Let's go back to my screen share. Is this here? Whoops. Add the stream, and we'll do that. All right. Can you see that, Keith?
Yes. Yeah, that looks wow. So it looks like your house in the Poconos has sustained the same amount of damage as your neighbor's house. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't that pretty?
This is a picture of the outside. And
I told you like to buy houses with surrounded by trees. It looks like.
Well, it's hard to get away from the trees up there. I will say.
Yeah, you are correct.
Fortunately, these trees are not gigantic, as we have here. Because we're about 1,000 feet above sea level there, so the trees don't grow quite as high. I don't think.
Boy, 1,000 feet, huh? That's
yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. So and I will tell you that the paint on the top part there is not quite as orange, it's a little bit more brown than what it looks like in the picture. But it is a really nice house.
Yeah.
And, when did you know it? We went for the house that had probably the most expensive siding on it.
Good for you.
Because that siding is actual wood, and it's cut to the length of the tree basically.
Okay.
So, when we go to replace any of that, it'll be a handsome expense, I am sure.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It's nicer than vinyl.
Yeah, it's not vinyl. It's not T111. It's not aluminum. It is really nice. So that's the outside, and this is a picture of the lake at Big Bass Lake. And they have a beach, and there's no power boating, but of course you can do canoeing and all that in there.
Okay, nice.
So nice community. But what I thought we'd talk about, Keith, more today is the loan aspect of it. And since Stephanie and I are refinancing our own house here, I asked our loan manager, I said, can we get a pre-approval on a vacation home? And of course he said, yeah. But then when I told him it was going to be primarily rented, because we can only be there a few weeks out of the year anyway. So we're going to do as much renting as possible. And he said, well, that really does change the terms of a loan. So one of the scenarios he showed us was this one here, where we could put 20% down, 30-year fixed at 3.25%. Okay, so in this scenario, we have to put down $33,600 to buy down points to get to 3.25. Was going to cost us $5,040. That's just to buy down to 3.25, plus the closing costs, and the closing costs are all there. The prepays, that includes a bunch of other stuff like the HOA fees and that type of stuff, I think. So the total down was going to be $49,000 with about $1,000 a month payment in mortgage.
Mhm.
So I was like, ah, man, that's a big payment, you know?
Yeah.
So we said, all right, let's take a look at another scenario. So this is 25% down. So that means we're still giving you more money. But the buy down to the 3.25% is 2,900. So not as much on the buy down.
Right. Right.
The closing and the prepays are the same, but we'd have to put 55,000 down on the house, and then it would be $854 a month. So that payment there is a little bit more in line with what I was looking for.
Uh-huh.
So we got off the phone. I'm like, all right, so I guess that's what we're going to do. And then a little while later, I thought, you know what, maybe I better make a phone call to a different loan officer and a different company to see what's going on. So for those of us who are teachers in PSEA, I went to the member benefits on our website page, and I went to Ameriserve, and I gave Ameriserve a call, and their rates or their loan would look like this. So for 20% down, he was giving me a 30-year fixed at 3%. Okay, so that's 0.25% lower.
Yeah.
33,000 down, which is what we have. But look at the point buy down. $464.
That's crazy.
Over at Quicken, if you look way over to 20%, that was $5,000 to bring the points down.
Bring it down to higher than what you ended up with.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I will say this. If you were to go to Ameriserve, you could get a similar deal, but your point buy, oh no, yours would still be that amount too. Okay, if somebody else outside of our teacher association went there, the point buy down would be like $700, which is still amazing. You know, we got a discount. I got a little discount for this. The other thing that I do because of PSEA, they waive the loan origination fees, which I don't know what that was, but still some money that's still in my pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the closing costs are the same, prepays. So the total down that we have to come out of pocket now with a 20% 30-year fixed is $45,000.
It's 10 grand less than, well, it's
it is
5 grand less than the other one, but
yeah. And our payment per month is $869.97.
yeah. Yep, that's good.
So in essence, we're saving about almost 10 grand over the 25% down, which is what I was going to do. And we're saving $3,333 over the 25% down. Sorry, the 20% down.
Yeah.
But those payments would have been higher. And so my point here is when we're going to buy a house, and I'm definitely one not to do this. Just, you know, make sure you make at least another phone call.
Right.
You know, because I told Stephanie, I said, I am so happy I made that one other phone call. It saved me about $10,000.
Now, didn't you, you've used Quicken for mortgages before, haven't you?
Correct. And we are refinancing right now with Quicken. And now I'm thinking I should probably have gone through Ameriserve for a refi.
Yeah.
So lesson learned there. We can't pull back out of the refi now with Quicken, but
right.
So let's go. Cool, Tara. New house. Yeah, it's great up there. It's really nice. I mean, because it's 2 hours north and the elevation is over 1,000 feet. It is much cooler, less humidity. It's been nice up there. Thank you, Patty. And let's see, Patty. I'll come back to your point here in a minute. Thanks, Julie. Did you consider 20-year or 15-year mortgage? Sometimes that makes a little difference per month, but a tremendous difference over the life of the loan. Yeah. We certainly, it was going to make a big difference in the payment. It was going to be well over $1,000. And because we're looking to rent this as much as possible, hopefully our renters will be paying the house off. So.
And what little research I've done in the past on rental properties, don't they tell you to, you don't want to pay it off quickly, right?
Get the payment as low as possible, really.
Yes, right.
On the rental. So the difference was Quicken, because we were going to be renting it, that went into a different category for them. Ameriserve, he told me if I remember correctly, that you can have up to like 10 properties before they start doing like a different type of loan for you. I'm not quite sure what all that is, but it's worth a phone call. So yeah. Okay, so that's
we'll find out when you get 9 more properties, Joel.
Yeah. Well, it is. And we have that place in Collingdale, which is, at this point, it hardly breaks even as far as rent goes.
Right.
But we have it. It's not like we could ever go there or would ever want to go there to vacation.
Right.
This is a vacation home where we can go there at least once a week. Or I'm sorry, once a year, twice a year for a week, and then when we're not there, in between, rent it out.
That's right. You're right.
And that just makes a little bit better sense for me. And Stephanie's all excited about. We're doing hunting and gathering on Craigslist now for all.
Yeah, and where are we keeping some of that stuff, Joel?
Some of that stuff is right in your storage room downstairs. But we were quick not to leave the cushions because
I was going to mention that. You want to make sure you don't leave the whole thing at my place because heaven forbid I take a nap on one of the new couches.
He's a little bent because we put the sofa and love seat in a storage room downstairs, but we took the cushions home and put them in our closet.
Unbelievable. Like the cats need something else to sleep on. Okay. All righty. Well, good luck with that, Joel.
I'll share more with that. Next week, I'll go over how we're financing that down payment.
Right. Okay. Yes.
That money fund. So if you're getting any interesting items out of this today, please love the love button, smack the like button, and give us a share, comment.
Yeah, share. Let all your friends know what you do on a Saturday morning while you're having your coffee because, we have a good time. We hope you guys have a good time, too.
Yeah. Keith, you ready for a little trivia?
Yeah, let's do some trivia, Joel. Because once again, we're blowing through the time here.
We only have 2 trivia questions today. That's going to help. And then we'll get back. Sorry, let me get out of some things here.
Let me get the old spectacles on there.
All right, let's go back to screen share. And is that here? Add stream. There we go. And you see that?
Yes, sir. The penny farthing, also known as a high wheel, was the first machine to be called a what? The penny farthing, also known as a high wheel, was the first machine to be called a what? Huh. I know the answer. And okay, another one. Born into a family of Dutch Americans who was the only U.S. president to speak English as a second language. Wow. Now, I know somebody in the current administration might want to dig that up. Let's make sure that person's not an American. Okay.
Yeah, we can go through all those records, right? Keith, it is time for jokes, I think. Or did you want to do your little fact, and then we'll do?
Let's do. I just have a couple here because very timely. Do you know this day, 1966, Joel? The Beatles gave their last public concert.
Is that in 1966?
1966. Well, they broke up in '69, but their last public concert was Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
Wow.
Well, I've been hearing I guess there's documentaries all over the place on this, and they get there's a bunch of kids from a working class place. They just wanted to play music, and they got so incredible. Nothing like this had ever happened before. They were playing in these baseball parks that basically all they had was the PA system, for the baseball announcer to talk. Right. Before they developed, huge amplifiers and all that kind of stuff. So the screaming, all the noise from the crowd was these guys couldn't even hear each other play. And, they get done, finally get done. And they're like, and I think it's George Harrison might have said it. He's like, I can't do this anymore. They lost. It was way beyond the music that they were.
Right.
Right. So,
yeah.
And they didn't last too much longer. But anyway, it was, when I was 3 years old, I think I know Myron, my dear friend Myron, went to see him Shea Stadium in New York. He must have been pretty young, but what he remembers of it, there was nothing but noise. One more here I want to show. What the heck did I see? I'm going
to switch you up here. Let's try our new layout here. There we go.
One more here. Oh yeah. Now this is kind of timely too. 2005 rains from Hurricane Katrina caused a levee breach at the Industrial Canal in New Orleans, causing severe flooding. Remember that, Katrina?
I do remember that. Yeah,
15 years ago already.
Well, that was a big story. That was a big story about this current Hurricane Laura that was 15 years ago, and some of the same situations occurred and all that.
Yep.
So.
Speaking of housing, Joel, how do you get flood insurance down there?
I've been thinking about that a lot. I mean, how are they even allowed to?
They must not.
I mean, that's you think, boy, those people have to get out of there, but who are they going to get to buy their properties,
right.
and where do they ultimately go?
Right.
I mean, if you have a house, I don't know. It's such.
Well, I mean, Joel, you're these places always seem to be in less than super fortunate areas. And if something like that happened to you, Joel, you pick up and take your family somewhere, and it might hurt financially, but you could still do it. What if you couldn't?
Yeah, I know.
And I would pretty much think if our sister Linda, I don't know where she is, you probably can't get flood insurance down there. I would imagine. I mean, you're not going to insure something that you're going to pay out on in a couple of years. So it's just
unless the insurance is just astronomically high, who can afford that?
Which they probably wouldn't be able to afford and wouldn't get, some of those people.
Yeah.
So, boy, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, I see that, Patty. And
there's Sister Linda.
You know what the problem is? I think is that that's what everybody thinks needs to happen and knows needs to happen. We need to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of down there waterfront. Oh yeah. But it's in 10 years we're going to forget that this happened. And then just like, 15 years ago was Katrina, we forgot about Katrina until Monday when this all happened again,
Right.
It's just like, oh, it hasn't happened. It's not going to happen again, and I guess they can build on stilts and all that stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, kind of wonder why they built, of course, it's a couple hundred years ago, but why did they build down there below sea level to begin with?
Yeah, that whole little part of it is.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
Mind-boggling. Like, how do they build below sea level?
Yeah.
Would that be a submarine?
They did in Holland, I guess. So, but anyway.
Okay, Keith, let's do some jokes.
Let's do some jokes. Wrap up, wind up, and I got to work.
I know. All right. Ready for the first joke, folks? These are good jokes, so you just listen closely. You can write them down and use them tonight at dinner time. Why did the pantyhose need a lawyer?
Why?
They were on a run. Why did the sticker need a lawyer?
Why?
It was ripped off. All right, I actually have three more.
Okay.
What are a gas station attendant's favorite shoes?
What?
Pumps.
Oh, yeah! Very good.
What are a plumber's favorite shoes?
What?
Clogs.
Oh!
Last one. If athletes get athlete's foot, what do astronauts get? Mistletoe. Too much. We have to stop, folks.
Never ceases to outdo yourself on that joke.
All right,
it is just unbelievable.
Back to our trivia. All right, Keith, the penny farthing, also known as a high wheel, was the first machine to be called a what? We have some responses there?
I don't see anything.
I see Patty has bicycle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, we do. Yep. Bicycle.
I was going to go with bicycle too. The survey.
Yeah.
Bicycle.
Bicycle.
Yeah.
I never knew what that word meant. I mean, I've heard penny farthing before, but
Yeah, that is an interesting word. All right. Born into a family of Dutch Americans, who is the only U.S. president to speak English as a second language?
did Patty have this one too? Van Buren.
Van Buren, I see that over there. Okay, let's see what we have. Yay, Martin Van Buren.
Wow, okay, all right.
Oh, Patty. So
Yeah, very good.
Actually, I wouldn't know who to say, but anyway. Keith, I think that brings us to the end of our rope here. I know. That was,
hey, guess what, Joe? I told you I moved to a new store for a couple of weeks, and I'm off next Saturday morning.
Oh, bravo.
So let's do another show.
Okay. So next Saturday would be, is it Labor Day? Labor Day weekend next week? I think
Yeah,
it
I
is.
guess
Right?
so. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. Just come back and watch the show next week. Yeah, we're going to be doing the same thing we did all summer long, which is not have a summer. So come back and watch us before you do some barbecuing next week. And hey, maybe we'll talk about some Labor Day stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joel?
We'll do some fact checking on Labor Day. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us, and good luck to our parents out there who's going to have to deal with online school at home.
Yes.
And all the best to my colleagues who will be and my wife for
Yes.
teaching at home and all that stuff.
Prayers go out to all the teachers and the students. You know, I saw a little kid in the store yesterday, and I said, "Are you going to be at school, or are you going to be doing virtual?" And she said, "Virtual." I said, "What would you like?" She said, "I'd rather go back to school." And it's amazing how many kids would rather be in school than be doing it on. And that's unfortunate that we're going to lose a little bit of that socializing, but hopefully we can get through it. If everybody's good like they're supposed to be for the next couple of months, we can get through it and get back to what we're supposed to do. So, hey,
a little bit of normalcy. So, all right.
Remember, you deserve a thought. Thanks very much for stopping by, guys. You deserve a thought of your own. So
be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Smack and Jack Live. See you guys.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Jack up your knees, smack that in the face. Jack it up, smack that in the face. Jack up your knees, smack that in the face. Jack it up, smack that in the face. Jack up your knees, smack that.